she see money all around me. I look like I'm the man.
Oh yeah, my babies, my ladies, my darlings, my fellas. Mostly my fellas, because we like talking to the boys. We like being with the boys. It's your Koopa Loopa, your Loopy Koopa. And today, oh my, today, I got my baby. I got my baby. And we're gonna be getting a little priestly, a little holy, a little, wholesome. With our vocation day, it's priest time. And, as much as I hate playing this class, it is a very necessary part of Dragon Quest, of life, of anything. You have to heal to survive. And today, we're going to be getting a little historical. We're going to go, what we do here is go back. You know what I'm saying? Go back in time to the original healers. I'm going to talk about whammon. And the general huge cultural shift we have, where a lot of girls, a lot of feminine-like creatures decide that, priest, shitty class, overrated, don't need it. All you need in life is DPS, and that is all you'll get. Who needs healing, right? So we'll go back. We'll reminisce on a better time. And I'll try not to be too doomer boomer mindset about, all the shit here, because it can get a little depressing thinking about just the fact that it has all shifted not only very drastically but very quickly, at least for me, because a lot of people would say, they understood where we were going and they weren't happy with it, but I really thought we were going in a different direction. And 2025 year, the truth, you just kind of realize that all the Me Too and the Black Lives Matter and the all this stuff that's supposed to be helping us, we're way over there on the other side of the, where the grass was supposed to be greener. We are over there now, and I'm like, it's still very bad. And as a matter of fact, the grass is way worse over here. The grass is way worse over here. So, yeah, man. The fact of the matter is, before I even get into the topics, because I do have a jump point to get in there. We'll just do a quick story spoiler overview, because I see myself struggling in game here on this footage, like I'm being very dumb. So essentially, the priest quests are saving, I suppose, saving the sages from, I guess, embarrassment. But essentially, at the end of the quest, disease breaks out. You got to get rid of the plague is the main thing. But starting out here, we're basically just traveling around, praying, making sure the wood is right. And I believe for this first quest, we're finding our model woman. You know what I'm saying? Helga, the princess of the priest, is missing because she had to go do some stuff at this mystical, magical place that we don't know where it is. And so, what you have to do here for this first quest, first of all, you got to talk to this guy, and then the quest is going to pop up over to the left here. It's in the room, but I'm very dumb with directions. Also, you need to be a priest, obviously, who is level 30. And so, you go on your quest to find, I believe it's called the Mirror Tree. You find it and you realize Helga's just, she had to purify some shit. She had to do some work. She had to be a healer. And, we assist with finding her, finding the tree, go back home. And then essentially this is all about the sacredness of the wood, and really honoring, I guess, tradition. This is more of a thing in this one than any of the other quests, is because at the end they essentially have to abolish the old traditions and sort of keep the essence of what the ancestors wanted, instead of, you know, strictly following the guidelines set before us, which I think is quite apparent for what we're going through nowadays. Because this whole monogamy thing, you know, this whole courtship and marriage, you know, a lot of it was made up by our, not even like long ago, our recent ancestors, you know, like marriage and the whole you know, buying ring thing or whatever. You know, you have to buy rings that are at least 30% of your salary or whatever the fuck, you know, just specific concepts like that. Jesus Christ, could this train calm down? Specific concepts like that aren't even really that old, and they're all fabricated, made up by our ancestors. I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't spend anything on a woman's ring for her marriage, but you see how things can get misconstrued, and then if you don't do the proper research on them, you'll end up, you know, kind of running yourself dry for no reason. And the real issue, if you really go down to core brass tacks and details, right? It's that for a lot of things and a lot of concepts in the world, in order to be a healer, what it takes is a vast understanding of the concept and more specifically the person that you're trying to heal, and you know, strategically walking that line of comfort and conclusion, and really helping them come to a place that helps them move forward, however you can do that, you know what I'm saying? But that's our goal in life. You know, nobody's really gonna tell you you have to fucking succeed at all the fucking points, or you have to fail at all the, people are just gonna tell you to move forward. You know, people are just gonna tell you to live another day. People are just going to tell you to level up, progress, whatever, you know, whatever the fuck. And so, if you really want to be a healer, all it really takes is the knowledge of person and knowledge of, you know, the world. But here's where it really gets complicated. The reason why ladies think not only that they should be DPS, but also that they're bad healers, is because the world's understanding is skewed through the world, through the woman's mind. You know, I feel like a lot of the girls who have this huge understanding of life and everything, you know, in general, are just pretty much very depressed. It's essentially the same as the guys who get a lot of play and action from girls. They usually may have a high opinion of life. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I can guarantee you they do not have a high opinion of women. And this is just a fact of life. You know, it's a fact of life. If you are met with a lot of something, whether it be women, attention, money, you start to devalue it. And every day, women are met with 8,000 lines of information. And so sometimes they tend to devalue it and only, you know, go towards the universal truths, because that is also where women get their social cred from. It's from being a part of the community. It's from providing value and healing the community. But you see, it gets kind of misconstrued. I'll tell you now why the women sort of run into DPS mode a little bit easier. And it can be a combination of factors, but I think mostly the main reason why they all stray away from, you know, actually becoming a healer, you know, being enveloped in the community and, you know, finding one thing to hone in on, I think it's naturally because of, you know, the main reason why I, myself, generally fell out of the healer landscape. And I think this happens at a much quicker and faster scale for women, because they're just a lot less capable. You see, what happens when we are spread thin by so many directions and so many people that forcefully want us and want our information and want our healing power, our support, our energy, when we are constantly met with all of these, they start to become devaluing. And then you have this one breaking point, this one moment where you realize that sometimes the force, the evil, the deceit is how you get what you want. And it may not even be you doing it. It may be someone else doing it. And this is not something that happens overnight, guys. This is death by 1,000 cuts. Eventually, you see enough awful, evil people do terrible things, face no repercussions, and, you know, keep on trucking and doing amazing things. You're like, maybe I need to change maybe I'm an idiot, you know? You start to think that. And so these quote unquote nice girls, whatever you want to call them, whatever beings you want to say, tend to start using DPS instead of healing to get what they want. That's how we get all these catty ratty bitches who, you know, only smile at a guy and you know, give a slight little head nod or whatever when they see someone in the street instead of actually going out and getting them, because the mystery not only keeps them safe, but it also allows them to be DPS. If you go out there and, you know, you attack things, or you try to attract things that you actually want, you have the, you know, the ability to be attacked yourself. And the assassin class, you know, you get in, you kill, you get out, is essentially the best thing for women, because their damage is so fucking high. I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever been insulted in a way that actually affects you, you just put a woman's face in front of it, and that's like a multiplier, for real. Because honestly, they know a lot more about us. This is just a fact of life. I feel like I just know a lot more about, you know, people, things in general, but essentially, definitely about guys and males, they know a lot. And that's not because, you know, they've necessarily had experience. It's just because of the confidence, you know? And the fact that a lot of these things that other girls will tell them about guys will essentially become true around them, because you create your own reality. Crazy shit, I know. And so we have a bunch of DPS. We really don't have a bunch of healer women, essentially. And corporate, you know, girl boss world, it works out because, you know, a lot of girls, even though they are in these lower income professions, still are out earning guys in a lot of ways. It's the same thing with minorities, and I am a black guy, if you guys haven't realized. I don't like to use the N-word all the damn time. Especially because, you know, I'm not around other black people. Like, I don't know if other black guys have realized this, who are, you know, have a head on their shoulders. Like, I don't feel the need to use it unless there's like another person who also wants to use it with me around me. Like, I don't know. It feels a little weird. Like, sometimes every now and then it'll slip out because, you know, it's just like a fanatic thing that I'm comfortable with. But yeah, I always found that as a weird thing. Anyways, that was a tangent. And my train has definitely left the station for whatever thoughts I had in my head. That was very funny. It was very funny. What was I talking about? Like N-word, yeah. So the DEI has really helped the black community. So although we may still be struggling, although it's not enough and everybody fucking can't afford to live by themselves, we are doing the best we've ever been doing. So honestly, guys, there are reasons to complain, but this racism shit is not one of them. We're all in horrible, horrible camps. We all can't get dates. We all can't get good jobs. You know, we all can't get good houses. It's some crazy shit. So I don't understand where all of the animosity comes from. Like, if everybody's hurting and we just keep throwing hurt at each other, you know, it's really not indicative to solve the problem, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's what is pushed towards us, and it's so unfair, because it's like the only way we can actually scream into the void or do anything really is actively what's holding us back, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way we can do anything is why we're suffering. Yes, exactly. It's one of those Pandora's box things where we've opened this creature. We've allowed this bullshit into our house, and you know, it's gonna take a lot of years to take a shovel and scoop all the bullshit out after it's here, but you know, somebody gotta do it. It's a crazy shit. It's a crazy shit. But I don't think we'll ever go back to how we used to be and how the healers used to be. And I don't even think, you know, it was all gumdrops and rainbows back then either, you know? We all had our problems back in the day. And maybe women were better healers. I'm not saying they healed themselves better. You know what I'm saying? Like let's be real. The DPS class is only good because of all the crazy passive self-healing buffs that we've gotten. You know, all this DoorDash, all this government assistance, all this divorce and you get the fucking house, and you know what I'm saying, the property taxes, all this crazy shit. Real estate. If we didn't have a lot of self-buffing, self-auto, you know, all this crap of the modern age, DPS would be terrible. And I'm not even saying healers back in the day, they had a good, DPS for them, or they had a good, sub healer for them, because a lot of them didn't. A lot of them just healed their husbands and then stayed in the back and, took his fist. Shit was not good back in the day. I'm just saying it's not good in our, neck of the woods, as us guys nowadays. And that's okay, guys. If you've lost your princess, if you've lost your Helga, and you don't know where she is, and you're still looking, I would say in the holy year of 2025, find your truth. Stop searching for that other person so fucking hard, and find what you really need from them, whoever they are. Really hone into that. And once you embody that need, that want for, maybe someone to play video games with, maybe someone to game with, someone to talk to, someone to be vulnerable with in some way. Once you hone in onto that need, God will fulfill it. God will fulfill it. And that it hurts for me to say, especially because, look at me now. Like, where the fuck are you, Jesus? Where you at? Motherfucker late. But that's what you have to believe. You have to have that haphazardness hope. I don't know if that's the right word for it. I just like to throw adjectives in there. Don't mind me, baby. Haphazardous hope. We'll go with that one for now. Guys, we need more training. We need more priestly training, so we'll do that. We got this next quest here, which should be pretty fun. I believe this one is where we're gonna go, discuss with Helga, her friends, and have a fun time at the idol place and all that good stuff. So, shining idol. I hope everybody has a good whatever day I upload this on. Remember to drop a subscribe. Remember to leave a comment if you want to talk to me. Please don't talk to me.
See money all around me. I look like I'm the man. Yeah, but I was counting out like last week. Tell me, where have you been? Yeah, you're not a hiding girl. Don't act like I'm your man. You just a fan. You don't hold ring. You don't hold no ring.
Dirty ass, spilling ass nigga with a sick ass mouth and a slick ass flow. Catch up around me, nigga, and I'm playing when I'm coming for the kitty. Got my folk right there. Do it for my niggas and the ghost right there. Do it for my niggas and the ghost right now. Niggas got killed for the boy, living dreams in the hills, and they watching for the boy right now. Goddamn, by the time what a year. We are what them young boys feel. I kill, never be killed. That's real, no lie. You can tell that from my peers right now. Don't you wanna fuck me now?